Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of True Dungeon Talk with Trent. I'm turning off my AC, so it won't be loud in here. My name is Trent of TrentTokens.com. I'm a big fan of the game called True Dungeon. Woo! True Dungeon. Woo! True Dungeon. And an avid collector of tokens. This is a special episode of True Dungeon Talk with Trent. I'm going to be interviewing the man, the myth, the legend, Jeff Martin, and we have 3 big surprise announcements. For those of you watching live, hello everybody watching live. It's Thursday. We normally don't do a show on Thursday, and if you're watching this later, it's whatever day it is that you're watching this. We normally do at least 1 or 2 shows a month on Saturdays, so this is kind of a big special thing. So I just found out about these things because, I had to set it up. But whoa, hold on to your horsies and ponies and everything else that you can hold on to. But without further ado, let's get to the man of the hour, of 30 minutes. We have to kind of cut this short. There's lots of stuff to talk about, so we've got to get it right to it. And by the way, if you haven't done that algorithm stuff, clicking, liking, and subscribing and sharing, please do all that fun stuff. But let's get to the good stuff. Mr. Jeff Martin, everybody, welcome. Jeff, hello.
Howdy. Hey, guys.
Oh, look at that crowd. They love you.
Wow, they don't look very excited. It's kind of
that one guy, we gotta pay him more to, there is just a ton of people in chat. I think surprise announcement might be the way to get people to show up. Everyone in chat, thank you. We don't have time to go through everybody, but thank you everyone who is here. I see lots of familiar names and a couple new ones. It's really great to have you on the show, or watching the show live rather. But I want to get to the things that we need to discuss. So first of all, Jeff, how you doing? How's things?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Had a little fun during the hurricane, but yeah, we're having fun. We were down there, but we have some friends, and we've got a rental thing down there that's not done too well, but we're happy.
So it's not an Airbnb anymore. It's a plot of land for camping. Is that what it is now?
I think we're going to plant corn. I think. No, but,
all right. Yeah. Well, hopefully it's not too terrible. So for everyone, all right. So Tom loves the giant amulet of treasure behind you. I do love that as well. That's such a great. Let me show you this single shot of Jeff. So there's an amulet of treasure finding behind you, which is an awesome token. I love the background, and that's a very interesting thing over your left shoulder there. Maybe we'll talk about what that is a little later.
Maybe.
So how about we dive right in and get to these special announcements? What do you think?
Do it.
All right, so what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you guys some web pages that are currently not live. Of course, you tech nerds will look at the URL and figure it out. But the information that I'm about to share with everyone, or that Jeff and I are going to discuss, will be in the Lords and Ladies Forum tonight. And then a newsletter will go out tomorrow with all this information. So you guys watching the show are getting to hear it first. So let's go to our first special announcement. It is the new Charm of Avarice recipe. Now, some of you have probably seen the chatter about this, but here we are, the new Charm of Avarice recipe. Again, you're all going to see these links in Lord and Ladies later tonight, and everybody will also see them in the newsletter. If you haven't signed up for that newsletter, make sure you do so. All right, so basically the top here is talking about back in 2007, the Horn of Plenty came out, and then a couple of more tokens came out, and eventually that, of course, turned into the Charm of Avarice, which was in 2015, but that's been a while, and as we all know, it's a token that everyone really loves, but it's kind of hard for some of the newer players to acquire. So here is the new Charm of Avarice recipe starting with 2023. Jeff, what would you like to say about this new Charm of Avarice?
Some people we got a lot of great feedback on the forums. We pretty much just left it exactly like we originally had it, and we decided to codify it and announce it to the world right here. So this is it. And then we also talk about below the new Uber token that's coming in 27. Thought we'd give everybody a heads up for have enough time to start collecting for it. So
yes. So hi Raven, I'm glad you could make it. So we got your basic ingredients here to make the new charm of Avarice. And then the point system, the Amulet of Treasure Finding, for anyone who happens to have that, is 4 points. The bead that's coming out next year is 1 point. And then in 2025, there's another bead. And then 2027, there's another bead. So here's one question. Does the Amulet of Treasure Finding or any of the beads stack with the Charm of Avarice?
No.
No. Okay. But the nuggets will stack. Is that right?
Well, I guess it depends. It's kind of complicated. Maybe instead of just saying to give a no, just look at the token. There's a lot of little tokendb.com. There's a lot of little interplays there.
Got it.
Depending on how you mean that. So we should probably just leave that for another day.
Okay.
But basically, you're not going to be able to go like get 50 pulls with it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Good. So check out TokenDB for the recipe and also what things stack. But wait, there's more. The Charm of Uber, Token of Uber Avarice, it's a name to be determined, is coming out in 2027. So you take your Charm of Avarice, add a bead, add 2 more. I'm sorry. Yeah. Wait. Where's the recipe? Sorry. Where's the recipe of this?
There's really not a published one. We're just
we don't have the recipe of this. That's why it's not here. Sorry.
Yeah.
So the recipe is to be determined. What I was looking at there is how much treasure you're going to get. So once you make the Uber Charm of Avarice, this is how much treasure it will be. 13 from the charm, 2 from this bead, 2 from this bead, 2 from this bead, and just 1 more treasure because it's cool. And for those of you, and again, this page is going to be in the Lords and Ladies forum and also in the newsletter tomorrow. For those of you who happen to be 6 level or higher, it's going to give you 30 treasure pools. So this is the count of the treasure from each of these tier. And then the nuggets are here for a total of 29 if you're not level 6 and 30 if you are level 6. So there we go. Yep. And Gilstrife says, "Wow, 30 pulls." Yeah, so that is a definitely very cool thing. And for someone like myself, I have a binder of sharing. This is going to be really great to be able to combine all this and to help other people get treasure. So this is very, very cool. So if anyone has any questions, let us know. But we're going to not take too many questions because we don't have a lot of time. And we also want to get to a couple more announcements. Jeff, anything else you want to say about the new Charm of Avarice, which is going to be available next year, and the Charm of Uber Avarice, named to be determined in 2027?
I just want to thank everybody for the feedback and their patience and their understanding about why we had to do the new recipe and just thanks for all that. That was great. It was really nice that the community is kind of embracing this and going forward.
Cool. So MP asked about the treasure cap, but that's to be determined in the future. Let's get to our second, for those of you who happen to see that little scroll there, let's get to our second announcement. Rincon!
Alrighty, we've got some official news about Rincon. Besides the crazy logo, there's some interesting tokens. Bringing the 4th circle in. Nobody's seen that's the patron, special patron. It takes the place of the dragon orb. Wow. It's a map fragment to take you to enlightenment. Ding, ding, ding. But anyway, there's more information about how all that works, and this is something that you can look at to get information. But we wanted to make sure everybody knew ahead of time. There wasn't any misunderstandings about how Rincon was going to work. I didn't want anybody being upset with me that they didn't know how it was going to work. So we made a page for it, and that'll be shared everywhere starting tonight on the forums.
Wow, there it is. Official, more information about Rincon coming in the first half of 2026, where you take the 5 rings, and then that will get you there. The 5th ring, 4th ring, 3rd, 2nd, 1. And then that will turn into the Ring of Enlightenment. No more information about that. But so there's, if I got this right, there's like 3 things, official things happening You've got the to enter with the Rincon, so that's the Ring of Enlightenment, and then you have the Path of Enlightenment, which is fragment 1, and then there's going to be 4 fragments.
Yep.
4 fragments, and then
it's like there were 8 dragon orbs.
Right. So 4 fragments, and then so that means there must be, I assume, a Rincon run, and then there's going to be a patron run. Is that right?
Yep. Just like SkullCon.
Got it.
We're the model after that went really well. If everybody had a good time, and this will be the same thing. We're just letting people know now, so it's all out there. We have some photos that Alan took for us at the bottom of the page. If you want to see some stuff from SkullCon, really nice little photos. But I'll remind you of all the fun we had there, and hopefully we'll see as many people there 4 years from now than we did at SkullCon. I had a great time. It was fun.
It was awesome. I bet it's going to be even more people, especially announcing this stuff early enough for people to take advantage of it. So there's the Rincon run with the Ring of Enlightenment. Then there's the whatever the Path of Enlightenment. Those 4 fragments turn into.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a little spoiler in here. Enlightenment is a place and not a status. So you're trying to get to this place called Enlightenment, and the ring will take you there, like the skull took you to the SkullCon, and or you can also take the path.
Very cool. Excellent. And then in addition to that, so that's 2 runs. In addition to that, if you have the Silver Ship Passage Mirthwood, we finally find out, and some of this was already mentioned, but here it is officially. There's another event at Rincon, unlike the ring, which you keep, and the Path to Enlightenment, which is a place you keep. The Silver Ship Passage Mirthwood token, you turn that in, and you get to go to this mini event here.
Yep, you hop on a silver ship and you go to Mirthwood, and you have a fun little event. So.
Ooh, so we actually go on a ship to a place called Mirthwood. That makes sense. Cool. And so that information about Rincon, we'll hear more about that in 2025. And for those of you who went to SkullCon, these photos will look familiar. For anyone else, this was SkullCon. It was awesome. Some cool photos here, and again, everybody will see this in Lords and Ladies tonight and the newsletter tomorrow. Anything else you want to say about Rincon, Jeff? It's a very cool logo, by the way.
I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I know it's like an Olympics away, but 4 years, I hope it comes soon. I'm gonna try to make it much better than we even did SkullCon. So.
That's going to be tough to do because SkullCon was amazing. The production value was through the roof. I think everybody had a great time. All right, so let's go to the third of the 3 big announcements. The 2023 token collection. Sorry, let me scroll up to the page at the top here. I was at the bottom before. So announcing the 2023 token collection. That's right, you heard it. The 2023 token collection, and there's a lot on this page, so let me kind of go through here. Basically, this says that they're going to be here pretty soon. Is that right, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. So last year, tokens took extra long time to get produced in the factory, but due to COVID, and they thought it was going to be the same this year. But luckily, that region of the world managed to avoid any COVID issues, so the tokens are en route. They're already on their way here, so they're going to be here much earlier than we thought.
Awesome. And because they're going to be here much earlier, the pre-order period is happening much earlier, or at least a little bit earlier than before.
Yeah.
And also how the pre-orders work is different this year. For anyone this might be the first time, no problem. But for the people who have pre-ordered in the past, if you recall, normally you would order, if you do a pre-order in November, you would get a special token and also some treasure chips. But this pre-order period, instead of November, it's between October 10th and December 16th. So I'll just read this here to make sure we get it right. All free pre-order swag is awarded for purchases during this period, October 10th to the 16th. Any token pre-orders placed prior to November 20th, so listen up for this one, prior to November 20th should ship out during the last week of November. What? Yeah. So any pre-orders placed between November 20th and December 1st should ship out either during the first week of December or one business day after the pre-order is placed. But again, if you want the pre-order special order between October 10th through December 16th, if you want your tokens in your hands as fast as you can get them, order prior to November 20th. The tokens should ship out during the last week of November. So I highly encourage that to get into the queue. Wow. So what do we think there in the chat? How about that? Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, just one quick thing, just so that they understand.
Sure.
We used to have like 2 different pre-order periods where you got to order through like the middle of January. But if you ordered in November, you got a bonus. But we're just combining that all into one thing. So there's no separate extra Uber bonus. As long as you order by December 16th, you get everything that you could possibly get. So they'll have 2 years. You'll have about 2 months now to get all the bonuses instead of basically one.
Right. That's great. And I'm sure that will be helpful for many people. Again, this page you guys will see soon, so I won't be reading everything here. This page talks about the patron adventure in January, which I don't believe anybody knows about this unless they did some clicking around. What's going on with this?
So, let's talk about this later.
Okay, let's talk about this later.
I have a 4th surprise I want to throw out.
Oh my God, there's like a 4th or 5th. All right, so Rincon, Charm of Avarice, which we already talked about. Here is some amazing news. Transmuting starts January 9th of 2023. So that's awesome. So on January 9th, we'll be able to get the PDF form and make these orders. Now, most big fans have already seen this kind of page on the different ordering options here. This is a great page to read. Every year, this page has the current year's tokens. So there's the commons, the uncommons, and of course then the rares, and then finally the yummy ultra rares. And then at the bottom there are, after the ultra rares, are the transmuted items, which look amazing. Boots that go into orange boots, bead that goes into an orange bead. Very cool Arcanum shirt. More treasure map stuff, which is cool. And speaking of the pre-order specials, here is where you can read all about that. But these are the special items you get here. The Gibgub's Handy Acorn, which you can fight with and eat, and the 3X treasure chips. And there are these 2 specials here. As Jeff was saying, there's usually 3 here, but there's been combined into just 2 here. So for every 250 order, you get 1 free ultra rare of your choice. And this only applies to orders before 11:59 CST on December 16th. If you do your order before this time, you'll get the acorn and 1 treasure chip for every 250, or a 3X if you do a 1,000 order, and obviously that increments if you do a 2 or a 4 or an 8, etc. Anything more you want to say about that, Jeff?
Nope. I think you did well.
Okay, and then if you hit the 1K option, you get the new ring, which was green in 2022, but it was supposed to be light purple, I guess. Is that what we're going to call this color, light purple?
Yeah, I call it light lavender just because it sounds cool and I like alliteration. But I wanted it to be different, but I forgot to do it. But just like we did with the first, I think the first tooth was gold. Anyway,
the first tooth was gold, and so was the first Charm of Avarice.
We had to keep the tradition alive. Messing up the first
every 4 years mess something up with the first one. All right, so then when you do these orders, you can see the different things, and then once you get to the 2K, this is another yummy token that you'll get, Grunel's +2 pointy stick, which is just hilarious. And then of course once you get to the 8K, that's when you get the patron status, and there's a couple of different options here And again, this is all very similar to previous years, but obviously the current year tokens are in here. Path of Enlightenment. Now, here's a big change here. So if you were sleeping before, wake up. Jeff, do you want to talk about this?
Yes, it is our 20th anniversary, and I thought it'd be awesome if we were originally just going to do the 60 like we've been doing for several years, but we decided to go ahead and do 100 golden tickets this year.
What?
We may not do it the next year, but this is the 20th anniversary. Let's do 100 golden tickets.
What?
So, yeah, 100. Even though it says 1 to 60, I decided this after it went to print, of course.
Yeah, ignore the image there, just the 100 part.
Yeah, and the Team Francis thing is just kind of a fun thing. Don't worry about it. It doesn't really mean anything. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to sprinkle 100. So you have a lot better chance of getting a golden ticket this year than you did last year, I think. Of course, it all just depends on pre-orders and all that stuff, but I think chances should be a lot better. And then on the sign-up sheet and the forums, it'll just have 80 slots reserved for Gen Con and 20 for Gamehole Con, and you can pick whatever you want and grab a slot and claim it, and it's yours. So if you get one for, on your pre-order, you get a golden ticket, you can go there and claim the first Gamehole Con slot if you want. So you guys decide where you want to go.
Wow, that's awesome. So congratulations for 20 years, and thank you for the great treat that 100 GT is going to be out there. I think that's wonderful. Not everybody gets to go on a GT run, and I think this will give people a better opportunity to do so. And yes, Fred, as you heard, I saw your question fly through. There will be 2, but there's no platinum golden ticket this year. Is that right? It's just 100 of these.
Yep, 100 of those.
Got it. All right. And next up is from 2020 to 2023. Here's the shirt of the Shrewd for 2023. 4 shirts turn into the Arcanum shirt. And I guess this is purple or dark purple. Do you have an official?
Yes.
Or dark
Luscious
lavender? Luscious lavender?
Oh
my God, who's naming these things?
Hey, I used to have a sign shop. So
very powerful token. +2 strength, dex, con, and focus. That's amazing. So that's a new shirt that will be coming out next year. And then what else? I believe, yeah. And then the rest of this page is just the imagery for the different tokens. Did you want to talk about the 4th thing now, or go to the calendar? What do you want to do next? Maybe the calendar, right?
Yeah, I think that was the 4th thing.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to jump to the calendar. This is the free surprise. What do you want to tell us about the no charge surprise? The first 3 were, a charge.
Yeah, the menu on the right there is supposed to be fixed by the web guy today, but he didn't get to it. So, but anyway, there are some events that have already happened that just ignore. But the big news is basically what you've highlighted there. We're going to have an amazing 20th anniversary virtual True Dungeon series this year. Again, we're going to throw out all the stops. We're going to do at least 7 all new, no repeat adventures, and it's going to be telling the tale of going through the Tomb of Terror, which is an homage to Tomb Horror. Yeah,
Tomb of Terror.
So the whole thing, we've got 5 of the dates picked, and you can click on each one to see when the events go on sale, the tickets go on sale. But I am excited as heck to be able to do an homage to Tomb of Horrors virtually, because it's the quintessential D&D module that made me fall in love with playing D&D. So I love the idea that we get to do something like that. Hence, you might see this guy. Well, I guess, hang on.
Well,
you saw him at the beginning, but now
it makes sense.
Yeah, we have. There's a good chance you might run into a few of these, only somewhat bigger, a lot bigger.
That doesn't sound good.
Things are in the works for that. So it should be amazing.
So you've picked out 5 of the dates, chapter 1 through 5, but does that mean there's going to be a chapter 6 and a chapter 7 later in the year?
Yeah, we just don't know yet. We're still waiting to finalize things, maybe with PAX West and a couple other things. So we're just announcing these dates right now. But there'll be at least 7, maybe more. It just depends on what happens.
Wow. Amazing. And so that is that. What about, so there's also for patrons, there's 2 events for patrons.
Yes.
What's going on
So
with that?
we wanted to bookend the season. We thought this would be a better idea for the patrons. So they don't have to wait till like June or whatever to play their first patron event. So we're going to do it in January, and we're going to do it the day before chapter 1. So for a patron, you could play the Prelude adventure, the patron adventure on Friday, and on Saturday you could play chapter 1. I thought that would be really cool and geeky and fun. So I thought that would be the best way to do it. We're gonna compensate our DMs for a little extra because they'll have to run a little extra than normal. We'll compensate them extra, and hopefully we can get enough DMs to do it. But I just thought that would be the geekiest, fun way to do it, and that way too that most people will place their 8K orders before that date in the first couple of months, so that they fun immediately there in January. So then we'll book in at the end of their time in October with the final one.
Date to be determined in October.
Yeah.
Wow. And how certain are you with Gen Con? Because I see it on the calendar here. I see Gen Con and Gamehole Con.
We will be there. So we don't have exact information about like everything, where, when, or where, and all that stuff, but we'll definitely be there.
Cool. Hold on, that's Alexa, because that means we're supposed to cutting it short. Hold on a second. Had to tell Alexa to stop. All right, so that is our cutoff time because Jeff needs to go. Anything else you want to share with the group?
Just I'm really excited about this coming year. It's our 20th anniversary, and I've been thinking about it off and on for years about what we should do, how we could do. COVID's changed things a little bit and kind of put a different spin on things, but in the long run I think it turned out to be a bonus situation because now virtually we can get in touch with everybody. We can all share these events together online, and it's a lot easier for the patrons to get together that way. So we tried to come up with some way of doing an in-person patron event, but it just wasn't in the cards, and and not everybody would be able to make it. So hopefully that we can do maybe some of that in the future years, but we'll definitely do something like a Rincon. So we'll see everybody there.
Yeah, I think Rincon's going to be amazing. So Origins is it's hard to get to all the questions because we don't have time for that. This is hopefully everything will be answered soon. Origins is out, right?
I haven't heard from them. Yeah, I think they're like busy with other things that they're dealing with. The club's kind of going kind of through a crisis of so I think they've probably got much more important things to deal with than me. So
okay, all right, well thank you very much, Jeff. I know you have to go. I really appreciate you sharing all these wonderful things with the audience here. Again, it's amazing to think about how awesome next year is going to be. All the new tokens, the beginning of this, the preparing for Rincon, 2 patron things. It's going to be awesome. Thank you very much for all that you do. And I will let you go. Thank you very much, Jeff. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
All right. See you next time. All right, there you have it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 100 different announcements, that will be fun for us next year. Thank you all for everyone who joined live. I really do appreciate it. And don't forget to do that liking and subscribing and sharing and algorithm stuff. It's really good for the show. I really enjoyed talking to Jeff about this. And remember, all of this information will be in the Lords and Ladies Forum tonight, and then a newsletter tomorrow. And that's it. Thank you very much, everybody. And remember, don't forget, it's really hard to frown if you're smiling. So smile.